Conversation coming your way, and I think all of us have fallen victim to it somehow. Mobile network customers are still falling victim to these secret subscriptions which charge them various amounts of money without their knowledge. For years, unknown links described as wireless application service providers, or WASPs, have been fraudulently subscribing cell phone users to various services and through this stealing millions of rands worth of airtime. Information technology news website MyBroadband has written extensively on this and found that some mobile operators are not only making money from these activities, but they're also failing to prevent them. Let's chat to Jan Vermeulen. He's the editor-at-large at MyBroadband. Jan, good to have you. Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
You know, I have got one, and it's one thing that I've had for years, and I don't know how much they debit, just a few rands every single month. And you know, it's that message, reply if you want to unsubscribe or whatever, and you can never get rid of this thing, because then it says, sorry, don't know, we don't understand what you want. I mean, this is awful. How does it happen? What's going on?
Right, so it's very similar to debit order fraud. Where the banks allow companies to get access to your account and directly debit you, but there are some, systems and protocols in place. So you've got to go through the same kinds of hoops. So you have to, sign particular agreements with the mobile operators to be able to deduct airtime like this from your account. And so there's definite similarity between what we've been seeing in debit order fraud and what we're seeing in fraudulent WASP subscriptions. Now that said, the mobile operators have done a lot in the 10, 12 years that we've been covering this problem to make it possible for ordinary consumers like you or I to actually check our account and see if we are subscribed to any of these premium content services. And so that part of it has improved, but what's not improved, and there's definitely a cat and mouse game here, but this year there's also been a huge revelation in that we were given evidence that Vodacom itself was deducting airtime from SIMs and from accounts that should not be able to subscribe to premium content services. These are the kinds of SIMs in remote centers, you might call them Internet of Things devices.
Yeah.
These devices should not be able to subscribe to one. And yet, sources in the industry showed us how SIMs have been subscribed and to some of Vodacom's own WASP services. So that was pretty damning, and Vodacom has not yet really adequately responded to this particular problem. And so, in broad strokes, answer to your question, how does this happen? Because the operators allow it.
That is frightening, because the fact that they are also benefiting from it, they are allowing it, and we are the victim. And, there are many times that we keep on speaking about, we see just money being deducted off our account for we don't know what, and suddenly your airtime disappears, your data is disappearing, you question it, and then you phone and you ask questions, and they give you all these apps that you must download onto your phone to see if you're wasting it. I mean, they make it so difficult for you to get to the bottom of it, and this has been going on for so many years, and it is so common. I'm sure all of our viewers will have a story to tell or know someone who's fallen victim to this trend. How long has it been going on for? And I mean, when we talk of a monetary value of how much has actually been siphoned through this, what are we looking at?
Billions is the amount that we've been given by industry insiders over years. So to be clear, this is not like R1 billion that was stolen just this past year. But certainly over the last 10 or 12 years that these kinds of services have been available, perhaps longer. We're looking at large sums of money. And anybody, so radio stations, for example, are an example of a client who might have premium rated SMS. So this is slightly different from a WASP, which is like services that are R1, R2, or R5 a day, and then you get hopefully something in return. Some of them are even more shady than that. They just do nothing. They just take your money. But what you're supposed to be getting is something like a ringtone, or a wallpaper, or like a daily Bible verse, or something like. Or Vodacom and MTN themselves offered location service. This was before the widespread adoption of things like Google Maps that let you track loved ones. And so they had a system in place to allow you to track a loved one's phone, but that cost you a certain amount of money per month. So those are potentially valuable services to people that they might be willing to pay for.
Yeah, exactly.
But what we're seeing here is that people are subscribed to services that they did not request, and to the tune of billions of rands. And so, to give an example, on a R1 premium rated SMS, as I said, which is slightly different from a WASP, but in the same kind of vein. The operators take between 80 and 97% of that R1. Now that includes, as you go up, R2, R10, that percentage decreases substantially. Yeah. But those are the kinds of percentages that you see the mobile operators take. From 10% all the way to 90% of the revenues.
Unbelievable. Jan, we're running into very big time constraints, but I need to give advice to people because we know this is happening. In a quick answer, can the service provider stop this? If they wanted to, could they stop this?
Absolutely, but it comes with a revenue knock. They can just block WASP subscriptions by default unless you decide to unlock it. That's a very simple solution to the problem, which, to Telkom's credit, they've done. What people can do to protect themselves is all of these mobile network operators now have code, and you can search for them. We've got them on our website. Codes that you can type in, the USSD code, to check whether you've been subscribed to any of these services, and then unsubscribe from these services. It's a fairly recent feature, and people can use that to ensure that the airtime doesn't get stolen.
So can you, perhaps, I suppose it's different for every network, but is there a general thing? So we must visit your website, go and have a look and see. For instance, let's say...
for Vodacom, it'll be an SMS that you send, sorry to interrupt you, that says stop all, and with MTN, it's a special USSD code that then lists your subscriptions, and then you have to go through them one by one, unsubscribe. So it does differ from network.
From network. Do you happen to have the Vodacom number?
I don't on hand.
I'm going to quickly go have a look at it, see if I'm subscribed to anything, and try and see if this actually works. But just finally wrap this up. I've got to say goodbye to you because we're looking at the time is very bad. Where are we? You're aware of it. I'm aware of it. We are being robbed. The service providers are benefiting. They are aware of it, and nothing's being done. What's going on? How are we going to stop this?
So there is some pressure on mobile network operators to nip this in the bud once and for all. And so we're seeing, for example, MTN implementing what they call an artificial intelligence-driven anti-fraud system called SecureD. And there was just recently a media briefing. SecureD, we've got an article up on this as well. Yesterday had a media briefing in which it said that operators need to do away with making money from toxic services like this. And so we are seeing local operators adopting technology like SecureD. But honestly, I guess it might work out for them revenue-wise, to have SecureD rather than just blocking this thing altogether. Yeah. But the end game here is that WASPs are going to need to be blocked by default, and then those subscribers who want to access certain premium services can unblock it. There's no other real solution to this problem.
All right. Thanks, Jan. Thanks for talking to us. We got to end that there. Jan Vermeulen is the editor-at-large at MyBroadband, talking to us about these wireless application service providers, or WASP, that are literally stealing money from you, and you probably don't even know it. Go onto the website, broadband.co.za, mybroadband.co.za, and you can get those various mobile numbers to see if you are victim to this. Quick break. See you after